All right, let's dive into a topic that is on pretty much every educator's mind right now. How is artificial intelligence, AI, really changing the world of education? And more importantly, what does it actually mean to be a teacher in this brand new era? This is the big question, isn't it? It's kind of the fear that hangs over every conversation about the future of our classrooms. Is a machine really going to stand at the front of the class one day? Well, the answer is a little more complex and honestly, a lot more empowering than you might think. The first thing we have to get our heads around is that this isn't some far off futuristic scenario we're talking about. This is happening right now. Technology and AI, they're already in our schools, and they are fundamentally changing the game for us and for our students. So, of course, this rapid change brings a whole new set of challenges for all of us educators. And it's so much more than just learning some new software. It's about navigating a completely different world of teaching. So let's break down what these new hurdles actually look like. Okay, so here's the most fundamental shift. It used to be that the teacher and the textbook, well, we were the gatekeepers of knowledge, right? But today, our students are swimming in a sea of information that's coming at them from everywhere. The internet, videos, AI. The teacher is no longer the only source of facts, and that single change, it changes everything. And believe me, the challenges don't stop there. We're seeing this skills gap open up between teachers who are comfortable with tech and those who aren't. At the same time, learning itself is getting super personalized and moving at lightning speed. And then, of course, there's the very real worry about students misusing AI to cheat. It's pretty clear the job now demands a whole new set of skills. And what this all means is that the professional toolkit for a teacher has gotten way, way bigger. It's not just about pedagogy and knowing your subject anymore. Now, we've got to have digital literacy. We need to understand student data, and we have to have a real grasp on the ethics of using these incredibly powerful AI tools in our classrooms. So, with all of these challenges, what's the path forward? Well, it's not about fighting technology. It's about evolution. The teacher's role is shifting away from being just a provider of information to something so much more profound, being a guide and a shaper of character. So what does a guiding teacher actually do? Well, it really means focusing on what we humans do best. It's about shaping good character, right? It's about providing real, authentic assessment that goes way beyond a multiple choice test. And maybe most importantly, it's about guiding students on how to think critically in a world that is just overflowing with information. Okay, that sounds really great in theory, but how does this new role actually work in a real classroom? Let's get practical and look at some strategies you can start using right away. The way forward really involves shifting our teaching methods. So instead of us just lecturing from the front of the room, we can bring in models like project-based learning or the flipped classroom. These approaches just naturally move the focus from memorizing facts to actively solving problems and working together. It puts the student in the driver's seat, with you as their expert guide. I know, this can feel totally overwhelming, but listen, you don't have to become an AI expert overnight. The key is just to take simple steps. Start small. Maybe just master one tool, like making a really engaging presentation. And don't be afraid to ask a tech-savvy colleague, or hey, even one of your students for help. Use AI for the little things like brainstorming lesson ideas, but above all, just stay curious and remember to focus on your uniquely human strengths, empathy, motivation, and character. The best way to think about AI is not as your competition, but as the world's most capable teaching assistant. Let it handle the tedious work, all those administrative tasks, generating draft materials, analyzing learning data. That frees you up to do what really, truly matters, connecting with your students. And that really brings us to the most important point of this whole explainer. As we start to wrap up, let's focus on those core human strengths that technology can absolutely amplify, but can never, ever replace. This slide really just says it all, doesn't it? An AI can generate a quiz, but it can't offer empathy to a student who's struggling. It can analyze data, sure, but it can't build a trusting relationship or mentor a student's character. An AI can't be a role model. These are the domains of the human teacher, and they are the absolute heart of education. So back to that big question from the beginning. Will AI replace teachers? The definitive answer is no. It will replace tasks, for sure, but it will never replace a great teacher. Because the future of education doesn't rest on the power of artificial intelligence, but on the irreplaceable value of human guidance and human connection. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's the one human skill you believe will become even more critical for teachers in the next decade?